BuckeyeHuddle.com. Our Southern Swing 2025 continues here at Lloyd Seabird High School, just outside of Richmond. We have class of 2028 offensive lineman Isaiah Whitehead. First of all, Isaiah, how are you doing this morning? And thanks for joining us.
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. We're excited to get our trip started. This is our first stop, so you guys get the first. We'll get all the kinks worked out here on you guys before we get into our rhythm. Isaiah, you have started to see your recruiting process take off. You just got an offer from Penn State on Saturday. Got a lot of programs interested in you. What's that like for you to now kind of get this thing started? You've seen Chris's process. He's a year older than you, your older brother here, we just spoke with. You kind of seen him take off, but now you're kind of following in that path. What's that been like for you?
It's been amazing. When I first seen Chris start to take off, I knew I had to be like that. It was required. So when I got my first offer, I knew there was more to come. This process is life changing for real. You know, just knowing all these colleges and meeting all these new people in a place that you can call home in a couple of years. It's a great experience.
Is it kind of surreal for you that, like, for example, you go on that Midwest trip with Chris and you go to like Ohio State and Michigan and Notre Dame, and so you're talking about the last two national champions plus the runner-up from this past year in the championship game. How surreal is that to meet the coaches of those teams and talk to the players on those teams and just everything else? Like, how, I guess, cool is that to, you're watching these guys on TV?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, never in my life would I thought I'd meet any of those guys. Now, I didn't think I'd be at that campus. If I was looking at me young, I mean, it would be crazy. You know, I'd probably jump and enjoy.
So you visit Ohio State for, I think, the first time, right, this spring?
Yes, sir.
Chris and you got to watch practice and do some things. What were your impressions of practice, first of all?
Ohio State, they're electrifying, and I love that. You know, it doesn't matter if we're at practice or in a game, they're always going to be electric. And they're always going to make each other better, constantly coming at each other, you know, trying to get the best out of each other. And the coaching, they're always on you constantly. If you mess up, do it again until you get it right, over and over again. So that's what I really like about Ohio. That stood out to me the most.
Chris had an interesting observation. He said when you were there, the quarterbacks were live.
Yeah, they were live.
And that he had never seen that at a college practice to this point. As an offensive lineman, protecting the quarterback, how would that motivate you, I guess, to practice, knowing, hey, this guy's actually live behind me in practice?
I mean, like, I gotta try my best out there. I gotta give it all I got. Protect the QB. Protecting the QB is like protecting the ones you love. You know, that's practically your brother for the next 3 to 4 years. They're gonna be your brother for the rest of your life, practically. You know, I know the QB live, so I'm gonna give everything I got. Make sure the DN and D tackle don't get to him.
So you got a chance to talk to Coach Bowen. Ohio State's new offensive line coach. He was obviously not too far down the road at Virginia Tech before he got to Ohio State, so he's familiar with this part of the country. What was that conversation like? Just any impressions, takeaways from that conversation?
He's real excited. I know he's real hyped. Like he really loves the game of football, and I love that about him. You could tell by the way he talks that he can be a lifetime friend and like a lifetime mentor too. You know, if I was to get the offer from Ohio State, you know, and I know he's coaching, immediately top of the list. I mean, he's electrifying. I love electrifying people.
He has brought some energy to the room. We've noticed. As far as just your interest level in Ohio State, we kind of asked Chris the same thing. It's not really a school I don't think you guys grew up following so much, more as maybe the visit kind of caught your attention? Just, I guess, how would you kind of classify Ohio State in terms of your impressions of them growing up versus what the expectations and everything came out on the visit and how that went?
Well, growing up, we always knew Ohio State was a top dog. So, you know, we always used to watch them on Saturdays. Like, whenever they played, especially the Michigan game, we always watched that game. But when I went on the visit, I realized how serious it really was, how much they're mentally and physically locked in, and how they really want to win a whole bunch. And It's thinking about Ohio State,
Yeah.
gets me riled up.
Get you fired up. Anything? Did you get a chance to go to around campus? Chris said he kind of vaguely went around campus a little bit. Did you anything else that?
Yeah, we went around park. We didn't really get to see that much. We went out to some stores and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then we came back, but we mainly really just seen the facility and the
Yep.
practice fields.
Gotcha. Michigan, how was that? You got to go up there.
Michigan was all right. We didn't get to talk to much coaches because it was out of the blue.
Yeah, he said it wasn't scheduled originally.
Yeah, it was just random, so we didn't get to talk to much coaches for real. It was good. We didn't get to see them actually practice. They just did a walkthrough, but didn't compare to Ohio State.
Oh, okay. Well, Notre Dame. How did Notre Dame compare to?
Oh, Notre Dame. It was practically the same thing. The QBs weren't live, so but other than that, everybody else was live. I got to see the O-line practice, see the D-line, see what the D-line could do. So if I could use that on my field, so I can know what the D-line will most likely do when I'm going up against people my age.
Yeah.
During the season. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
We mentioned earlier you got the Penn State offer Saturday. What did that mean to you? I know Penn State recruits this area, the East Coast, pretty hard. How did that resonate with you when you got that offer?
It meant a lot to me. I always liked Penn State because they always had a good O-line too. So they pound the ball, and it meant a lot to me, knowing that they know about me.
I won't get through the summer stuff. Chris said you're probably going to Tennessee June 1st. Said you guys would like to get back to Ohio State for the Texas game at the beginning of the year. If you're able to make that Texas game, I guess how excited would you be just to be able to be in that atmosphere? I mean that it's possible that could be a 1 versus 2 matchup. It's certainly going to be 2 of the top 5 preseason teams. I guess how excited would you be able to take in that type of game?
I mean, I just know it's gonna be booming in there because it's Ohio State versus Texas, and I think every game that Ohio State has at home is always gonna be real loud. And I love loud atmospheres. Loud atmospheres, it gets me hype, gets me pumped, gets me ready to go.
Yeah.
And I just know Ohio State has that. Loud atmosphere gets the whole team going.
So, you as a player. Obviously, you're very early in your development. Offensive linemen take a little longer to develop than maybe some other positions like a running back or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you've obviously put some things together already that have got college coaches' interest. What do you do well right now, and kind of where are some areas you're still working on this offseason to improve for next year?
I think the best thing about me might be my pass protection. I like to protect the QB at all costs. So I have really good feet too. What I'm really working on is, my run blocking, filling the gaps and knocking people off the line. Mm-hmm. This year, that's just something I struggle with because I always used to I used to come behind instead of stepping forward. So that's what I'm really working on this year, and I'm going to improve my kick step to where I'm at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it's just a lot of footwork, technical stuff is kind of your focus right now.
Yes, sir.
You got to verify something for me. Chris claims that you've never beat him in a rep.
We only went up against each other 1 or 2 times, so
The way he makes it sound is you've tried and tried and tried and not been able to beat him. That's what Chris says. I'm giving you a chance to give your side of the story.
You give me and Chris 10 reps, I got him 7 times.
Okay. Well, there
Best
we have
believe
it.
that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe we'll get down here in fall camp and we'll get some video of that and we can settle this. But seriously, how cool is that? With him being kind of an elite pass rusher, you being a big-time offensive lineman, how helpful, I guess, is that to have that person either from practicing against them, but even just mentally being able to go over things with them? I guess how much of an influence and help is having Chris in your life, and from a football perspective?
It's amazing. All my life, Chris always been someone I can look up to. He's always led me on the right path, and knowing that I'm an O lineman at left tackle, he's a DN on the same side. he can get me better, so I can know all the moves that people do. Because Chris is elite. Everybody knows that by now. Yeah. And knowing he's coming off the edge and I'm there trying to block him, he's showing me what to do, how to stop it, and I can show him how Lineman would come at him too, so we could both get better at the same time.
Yeah, not many people can go out in the backyard and have a 5-star defensive end to work against. Not many offensive linemen have that opportunity, so that's probably a great thing for both of you guys in terms of your development. It's early. We're not going to hold you to top schools. We're not going to ask you about top schools, but when you talk about, like, when you think about things, you go on all these visits with Chris. I guess how much do you guys want to play together at the next level versus how much is this going to be completely separate individual decisions? I know everyone's got to do what's best for themselves, but I guess how much of a factor would playing with Chris, continuing to play with Chris at the college level, be in your recruiting process?
I mean, it's always been my plan to play wherever Chris plays, because I want to keep our connection together, and I'm planning on trying to do. I'm going to try to graduate early so we can go to college at the same time.
Okay.
And go into the draft at the same time. Probably be first time in I don't know how long going to the draft at the same time. So, I want to do something different, for once in my life.
Yeah. Okay. And then, lastly, just like geography is sometimes important with recruiting. Going away, staying kind of close. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Are you at all concerned about distance from home or anything like that as you kind of look at schools?
I don't really care about distance from home. I just want to ball. That's all that matters to me. I just want to ball.
Gotcha. Okay, we appreciate your time, Isaiah. Thanks for doing this. Thank you to your brother as well for doing this. We'll be watching you guys closely here, and maybe we'll see you up in Columbus for the Texas game in August.
Yes, sir.
All right.